What is the key to happiness? How do we achieve a state of mental tranquility in a world filled with uncertainty? Well, an ancient philosopher may just have some modern answers for us. Welcome to another episode of Philosophy Breakdown, and today we're diving into the life and teaching of Epicurus. When we discuss Epicurus, we must understand the time period in which he emerged. The 4th century BCE was a period of tumultuous change for the Greek world. Athens, once the beacon of democracy and culture, had suffered devastating losses in the Peloponnesian War. In the wake of this conflict, the Greek states were disunited and weakened, allowing for the rise of Philip II of Macedon and later his son Alexander the Great, who would go on to conquer most of the known world. Meanwhile, the Greek intellectual scene was also in flux. The schools of Plato and his student Aristotle had set the intellectual stage, but many were grappling with questions about ethics, the role of gods, and the nature of happiness in a world that seemed increasingly uncertain. This was a time when conventional religious and moral beliefs were being critically examined and often upended, kind of like how things are now. Within this volatile mix of historical, cultural, and intellectual upheaval, Epicurus arrived on the scene. His teachings offered a sanctuary from the external chaos, a guide to personal happiness and tranquility that seemed revolutionary then, just as it does today. So, what exactly did Epicurus believe? Let's break it down. At the heart of his philosophy lies the pursuit of ataraxia, a state of tranquility achieved through the absence of physical pain and mental distress. This pursuit guides much of Epicurean thought. First, let's discuss Epicurean hedonism. Unlike other forms of hedonism that prioritize indulgence, Epicurean hedonism is more about the absence of pain than the presence of pleasure. Epicurus argued that the best way to achieve happiness was to focus on simple, natural pleasures and to limit desires that lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety. Essentially, less is more. This brings us to his famous principle of the fourfold remedy. Don't fear God. Don't worry about death. What is good is easy to get, and what is terrible is easy to endure. This 4-part code addresses some of humanity's deepest fears and greatest misunderstandings about the nature of happiness. Epicurus was also a committed atomist, influenced by the ideas of Democritus. He believed that everything in the universe is composed of atoms, including the soul, and that these atoms move in the void. Death, in this view, is merely the dispersal of our atoms, so it's nothing to fear. On the subject of gods, Epicurus believed that they exist but are indifferent to human affairs. They neither reward virtue nor punish wickedness. This contradicted many of the religious teachings of those times as well as our own, and challenges us to find meaning in ethics without divine intervention. Now that we understand the core tenets of Epicureanism, let's explore the everlasting imprint Epicurus has left on our world. His influence transcends philosophy, impacting literature, science, and even religion. Centuries after his death, Epicurean schools were still prominent throughout the ancient world. His ideas also found fertile ground during the Renaissance, inspiring thinkers like Erasmus. In modern philosophy, his ideas about hedonism and atomism influenced utilitarianism and even contemporary atheistic and humanistic movements. And it's not just philosophy. Many people unknowingly incorporate Epicurean principles into their daily lives. The minimalist lifestyle, a trend focusing on living with less to achieve happiness, echoes Epicurus's teachings on simple pleasures and the absence of pain. His teachings also had a polarizing effect on religious thought. While some religious scholars found merit in his ethical ideas. Others have criticized Epicurus for fostering atheism and materialism. This dichotomy highlights the enduring power of his ideas to stimulate discussion and debate. In psychology, the concept of ataraxia is frequently studied as a state of mind to aspire to for mental health, further proving the timelessness of his work. It's clear that Epicurus's legacy isn't confined to ancient history. It's a living, breathing part of philosophical and practical discussions happening right now. Before we delve into the practical applications of Epicureanism, it's important to discuss the criticism and controversies that Epicurus's teachings have ignited over the millennia. Early critiques of Epicureanism often came from Stoic and Platonic philosophers who found the focus on sensory pleasure too simplistic. They argued that it reduced human aspiration and ethics to base desires, thus undermining virtues like courage and wisdom. During the Christian era, Epicurus was often maligned as an atheist or even a hedonist in a derogatory sense. Early Christian thinkers were highly critical of his dismissal of divine providence and immortality, viewing it as incompatible with Christian ethics. In the modern era, critics from the realms of existentialism and postmodernism have pointed out that Epicureanism's emphasis on individual pleasure can lead to ethical egoism. They question whether a philosophy focused on personal happiness can adequately address social injustices and community responsibilities. On the flip side, Epicureanism has its defenders. Many scholars believe that his brand of hedonism has been misunderstood, emphasizing that Epicurus did not advocate for reckless indulgence, but for a life led by reason and moderation. It's crucial to understand these critical viewpoints and controversies to fully grasp the multifaceted nature of Epicurean philosophy. Whether you agree with him or not, the debates he sparked are a testament to the enduring relevance of his ideas. We've talked a lot about the theoretical aspects of Epicureanism, but what does it mean for us in practical terms? How can we apply these ancient teachings to modern life? Firstly, consider the pursuit of happiness through simple pleasures. In an era of consumerism and endless wants, Epicurus teaches us to find contentment in basic joys, a good book, a meaningful conversation, or even a simple meal. Second, his ideas about avoiding unnecessary desires can be applied to financial planning and lifestyle choices. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Before making a purchase. Such a practice aligns well with the modern emphasis on minimalism and intentional living. Work-life balance is another area where Epicureanism can be applied. Epicurus advised his followers to engage in tasks that bring true fulfillment and avoid pointless toil. In our culture of hustle and grind, taking time to relax and engage in enjoyable activities is not only a luxury, it is a necessity for mental well-being. Lastly, Epicureanism can help guide our social interactions. The importance Epicurus placed on friendship as the ultimate source of true pleasure encourages us to invest time and effort into deepening our relationships, rather than accumulating material goods. So, whether you're trying to simplify your lifestyle, improve your emotional well-being, or enrich your relationships, Epicureanism offers practical approaches that can be integrated into the complexities of 21st century life. By now, you may be wondering how Epicureanism connects with Nocturnity, our guiding philosophy. At first glance, the pleasure-seeking ways of Epicureanism might seem to contrast with Nocturnity's focus on acknowledging and navigating through life's darker phases. However, when we delve deeper, the similarities become more apparent. First, let's consider Nocturnity's principle of acknowledgement of darkness. Epicureanism doesn't shy away from life's difficulties. It acknowledges the role of pain and discomfort, but offers a way to navigate through them by focusing on simple, fulfilling pleasures. This resonates deeply with Nocturnity's call to accept and understand our darker moments. Second, under the lens of universal learning, Epicureanism's ancient wisdom about life's basic truths can provide yet another perspective to Nocturnity's broad, holistic approach to understanding. The teachings of Epicurus on the pursuit of happiness through understanding and simplification can serve as a guidepost within Nocturnity's emphasis on drawing wisdom from multiple sources. Third, Epicureanism's end goal, like Nocturnity's principle of self-illumination, is the achievement of a sort of internal tranquility and happiness, free from external validation. In Nocturnity, the focus on finding our inner light within the darkness aligns well with Epicureanism's idea of attaining peace through understanding, simplicity, and friendship. So, while Nocturnity and Epicureanism may appear different on the surface, their underpinnings share a mutual focus, guiding individuals through the complexities of life, whether in joy or sorrow, towards a state of internal peace and understanding. As Epicurus said, the art of living well and the art of dying well are one. His teachings offer us invaluable wisdom on how to navigate life's challenges and uncertainties. That wraps up today's philosophy breakdown. If this episode helped you in any way, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.